Ah, man, this is what I live for.
We'll take the first set of questions from Jay Anderson with Cage Side Press.
Hey, Drew. Appreciate the time today.
No worries, man. I got all the time in the world.
Awesome. So flat out, I want to start with this. I mean, 3 wins, 3 finishes. What do you attribute this recent success to? Because you've been absolutely on point for a little while here.
I'm having fun doing it. I'm just enjoying moments, enjoy performing martial arts, and enjoying being inside the cage under that limelight. So these knockouts come from the smile on my face.
Good stuff, man. And you're obviously going into a big fight here with Islam Makhachev. And when you hear someone like DC say he has what it takes to be champion, as the guy fighting him, what's your reaction? Does that motivate you more to be the one to stop him?
I mean, that means this fight's a number one contender fight, regardless of where we're at in the rankings. If he could be a champion, I know I could be a champion. I think this fight will determine who the next champion could be. And man, it just excites me. I love challenges, and the more people hype up Islam, the more excited I get to test this hype.
And give us your thoughts on the matchup. I mean, obviously, this is a huge one, like you said. How do you see it playing out in the cage?
You never know. I mean, he hasn't fought in over a year and a half. I know he's a solid grappler, but he's got some solid hands too. It all dictates where he wants to take the fight. Everyone knows I love standing and trading, so my goal is to get a knockout for you guys, and we'll see what Islam comes in with.
And we touched on it a little when you said, this could be a number one contenders fight. Lightweight is a very, very deep division, obviously, and things are crazier than maybe they've ever been with the whole Habib situation and will he or won't he come back? I mean, with all that in mind, what do you think they should do in terms of the title? And are you a fan of that kind of mini tournament idea they had?
I think money makes sense, and so the fight that makes the most money is definitely gonna be the next title fight. I don't focus so much on the UFC gold. My goal in the lightweight division is have the most fantastic fights, and man, there's a long list of guys in the lightweight division to have great fights with. And so they're gonna figure out who the champion or the title fights are gonna be. My goal is just to fight the best in the world and have fun doing it.
All right. Well, I hope you have a lot of fun this weekend, and thanks again for the time.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Stephen Morocco with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Gerard, I suppose I could get you to opine on which lightweight title fight would make the most money for the UFC, would you?
I mean, I feel like if Khabib would come back to fight Connor for a rematch, that would make a lot of money. I mean, Connor is where the money's at. But if that doesn't happen, then the trilogy fight between Poirier and Connor, it has definitely a lot of money behind that one too. So, man, honestly, anything that evolves around Connor has the most money, but you can't argue with Dustin Poirier being deserving of the title.
So a slightly different topic. This is the last month of the Reebok deal, and you have fought with the promotion before it was in place and with it for several years. What's your reaction to it coming to an end?
Yeah, another phase. I'm excited to see what Venom brings to the table and what kind of sponsorship they want to bring. But I've really truly enjoyed the Reebok sponsorship and just to kind of like the uniforms and all that stuff. So I just look forward to the next phase of the sponsorship and man, I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Have they given you any sense of how the sponsorship is going to be similar or different in terms of the tiers of payouts?
No, I have zero idea. And so right now I'm just going to enjoy Reeboks while it lasts. And then when I fight again this summer, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, they don't tell the athletes much.
Do you have any thoughts overall? Has it been a positive thing, a negative thing for fighters in the sport?
It depends on who you are. I think if you were getting like some incredible sponsors, the olden times are the best for you. But I think Reeboks has done a really good job of unifying the sport and really just kind of making it cosmetically nice. And so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Venom's going to do.
Thank you, Drew.
We will take the next set of questions from Martina Saluch with In the Cage.
Hello, Drew. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Nice to see you smiling. Drew, simple questions from me. I would like to know how to neutralize such a high level wrestling and grappling like Islam's.
You do it by playing mixed martial arts. I mean, if it was a straight wrestling match, I mean, he would be superior. But this is mixed martial arts, and I'm not new to jujitsu. I'm a brown belt in jujitsu, and I have wrestled, and I just prefer stand up. And so I don't think I'm trying to negate his wrestling. I'm just trying to put the fight where I prefer it.
Okay, you are very well-rounded and more experienced fighter than Islam. Do you think that this would be a very important factor in this fight, your experience?
Yes, I definitely. I don't think you see Islam Makhachev feel uncomfortable in the cage often, and so with my experience and my talent, my goal is to make him uncomfortable and to see kind of what he does after that.
Do you see yourself in top 15 after possible win over Islam?
I would like to, but man, you never know with these rankings whether I'm like 15 or top 10 or man, they're gonna put me in wherever. But with a win over Islam, I care less about the rankings, more with the opportunity of being able to compete with the best. And so with a win over Islam, I'll be able to fight bigger and better opponents.
Talking about fighting the best guys in the world, who do you have on your eye next after possible win?
Man, I would love to fight RDA this summer as a main event. I don't think he's got anything matched up, and so if he's available after my fight, like that would be a match to make.
Thank you, Drew.
We will take our next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4-to-Win MMA.
Hi, Drew. Can you hear me?
Of course.
Hey, how you doing? Good to talk to you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Hey, you've had a very successful 2020. You finished Alexander Hernandez. You finished Nasrat as well. You currently are riding a 3-win streak. How do you envision your 2021 in terms of your career?
More fights. I would love to have more fights than I did in 2020. Man, getting knockouts for everyone is fantastic, but I don't expect for me to finish all my fights by knockout. So I just want more fights and more times to showcase my abilities inside the cage.
Well, since you're talking about abilities and all that growing, you're training in a place where everywhere you look, you're around, you have so much talent. You have Gagey, Magny, Overeem, Sandhagen, and on top of that, you have Coach Whitman. How was your preparation for Makhachev alongside Elevation Fighting?
It's motivating seeing those guys come in and grinding every day. It's fun to bounce skills off the best in the world and develop your own skills based upon it. We're not in there trying to emulate each other. We're making each other better. And man, when you train with like the best in the world every single day, it definitely propels you to shine on your own.
Who would you say you've learned the most from all that bunch of people?
That when you go into the gym, we look to fail. And so seeing world champions fail and learn in the gym, it gives you a little bit more comfort in the fact that you don't have to be picture perfect all the time. There's only 15 minutes that I need to be picture perfect. Anytime outside of that, I can just get beat up and lose as many rounds as I want.
Yeah, I get it. Don't be perfect, be clutch. So you've said it. It's an important part of Makhachev's hype is the fact that he's associated to Khabib Nurmagomedov. With that said, do you perceive Islam has the skills to live to set hype, or do you feel like you'll be exposing his game on Saturday?
I think he's extremely skillful. I think his hype, a lot of his hype comes from the talk of the Khabib, but he could have earned it on his own with his skills. But I don't think he has quite yet, and I'm excited to see if he technically does live up to that hype on Saturday. And so yeah, I'm excited to see how skillful he actually is.
Well, you stated that you want to crack at the bigger names of the division. If you defeat Makhachev on Saturday, do you feel this win actually gets you to a place where you can climb that ladder finally?
Definitely. The only way you can fight the best in the world is you keep on winning. So a win over Islam will definitely put me in a position to fight the higher ranked guys and eventually more eyes on my fights.
Well, sir, best of luck in your fight this Saturday. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Sue McDonough with Sports Kita.
Hey Drew, it's good to talk to you and hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
So you're obviously facing someone who is hugely popular in Russia and is being touted as Russia's next UFC champion. With all those acclamations being attached to Islam Makhachev's name, What do you think a victory does for you in the lightweight division, and how do you think it helps you progress in the career?
I think a win over Islam Makhachev will, give me more fans, more eyes on my fight career. Gives me more opportunities to fight the bigger and better opponents. Man, this is, a huge fight for me and for him, and to showcase our abilities together. And yeah, I look forward to winning and just moving on to bigger and better things.
So, in the past, you've highly spoken of a potential fight against Diego Ferreira. With a win this weekend, do you feel that's the potential fight that you'd like to get yourself booked into?
Man, I'm exhausted thinking about that guy. I've been thinking about him all of 2020. And so, man, I want to move on from it. I want to win over Islam, and I want to move on and fight just the best guys I can get my hands on in the lightweight division.
So, could we expect that RDA fight next?
I don't expect anything. We'll see what the UFC offers or how they want to use me. But man, I'm ready to fight anyone in the top 10.
Okay, and speaking of fights, I don't want to bring negative energy to your fight weekend by saying this, but would you possibly be interested in rebooking that fight against Benil Dariush and maybe avenge that loss from 2 years ago?
If I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of rematches. I mean, it was an unfortunate loss. I had a great first round with him, and he had an even better second round. And man, we already created that fight and that excitement. And man, I'm just going to let him continue doing what he's doing, and I'm just going to try to move on and move past and fight RDA or fight someone different. I'm not trying to repeat experiences. I'm trying to create new ones.
Okay, and last question before I let you go. So the top of the lightweight division is quite stacked at the moment. And if Khabib is to walk away from the sport and vacate his title, who do you think has the best shot of being the next champion?
I think Dustin Poirier has the best shot of winning that title, and well deserved too. He's put in a lot of work, and yeah, I think you can't argue that Dustin Poirier is gonna get the next title fight, and I'd put my money on him winning that title.
Well, thank you for your time, Drew, and I look forward to fight this weekend.
Thank you so much.
We will take our next set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Drew. How are you?
Fantastic.
Okay, that's awesome. The first thing I want to ask you is Islam has a lot of hype behind him. His sparring partners or training partners tells that he's the best lightweight in the world. So if you get the victory against him, how will you feel about that?
I think it's going to showcase the evolution of my career and my talent and my abilities. He's such a tough challenge, and he's a very good fighter. And so with a win over Islam Makhachev, I'm just going to put myself in a better position to earn better matchups and hopefully some respect on my name.
For sure. Okay, you were supposed to fight him in 2016, and it's been 5 years since that. So how do you feel? Who do you feel evolved more since that first match that didn't happen?
Oh, I mean, I think that worked in my favor. I think the Drew Dober of 2016 is nowhere close to the Drew Dober 2021. And man, it's unfortunate for Islam that he gets the best version of in myself, and I've evolved way more than he has.
Okay, and what's your prediction for this fight? Do you see you finishing Islam?
I don't see the outcome at all. I'm just in there and going to enjoy moments. And Islam's going to determine when he wants to quit. I'm just going to enjoy every single moment of it.
Okay, that's awesome. And thank you very much for your time, Drew. And hope if you get the W, you get the fight against RDA. That will be a great fight.
I know, I'm excited.
We will take our last set of questions from Nikita Gorshenin with Sports Express. Nikita, please go ahead. Your line has been unmuted. Okay, we will move on, and we will take our last set of questions from Omar Mertzafchi with S Sport.
Hello, Drew. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Hello. Thank you, sir. Drew, Islam is a very hype. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Drew, your opponent Islam has very good wrestling. What do you think about it? Does this situation put pressure on you?
I mean, I think he's going to use wrestling to put pressure on me. And man, I'm excited to showcase my new evolved game. You know, I've always wrestled, I've always played jiu-jitsu, but it's really coming into a good blend with my striking. And man, I'm excited to test myself against his wrestling.
Okay, my other question. Drew, you had a winning streak. What changes in your private life when you become a permanent winner?
Nothing changes. Man, I'm the same Drew Dober that I was when I was losing, when I was winning. At the end of my career, at the beginning of my career, man, fighting has not changed my personality or my demeanor at all. I don't let other people or the sport change my smile.
Okay, my last question, Drew. Habib and his team, time to time, mock Jiu-Jitsu, and you say, I had a brown belt Jiu-Jitsu. What do you think about it?
They're mocking that my brown belt.
No. Generally, they mocking Jiu-Jitsu. They praise
Oh.
Sambo.
Yeah, no, Sambo is incredible. And man, like this is why we're watching the sport. We're gonna see how my brown belt in jiu-jitsu is gonna affect against their Sambo and how that's gonna work. I mean, Islam's gonna use his wrestling and use Sambo, and I'm gonna use my, you know, American wrestling and my Brazilian jiu-jitsu against him. And man, it's just exciting to see what like technical things are gonna come out of it.
Okay, thank you. Good luck on Saturday, Drew.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Drew. That is all the time we had for you, sir. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Oh, thank you.